Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutations to you brothers who's pushing this truth to the four corners, the highways and byways. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. This is the brother Yashamar with another video. Right, stuck in some traffic. Heading to the grave shift. Or brothers might know as the night shift. But nevertheless, I wanted to do a video on brotherly love, and it's a question been pondering on my spirit, and I think through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Shai that I do a video on it. All right, especially in these last times, especially of difficulty, approaching in trouble, where trouble is present, and the question is brotherly love a burden? Or do you find brotherly love a burden? Right? And yeah, to give brotherly love is basically a sacrifice, basically a partial sacrifice of yourself to to give aid or to render. And hey, Yahushua said it best. Greater had no love than this, for a man to lay down his life for his brethren. Alright, because hey, Yahushua, he's the one that paid the ultimate price. Alright, nevertheless, this is Hebrews chapter 13, reading from verse 1. It says, let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain stranger, for thereby some have entertained angel unaware. Now, in this flesh, but in this fashion and in this flesh, we've been so long within this flesh that the customs or the culture or the outlook of this life is basically carnal. So even in the book of John, when it says beloved, we don't seem as what we shall be, right? Because we are in this flesh and we die like men, all right? And we basically are, weak in the sight of men, right? Especially if in this time that demons messing with men, we might not seem to them or look to them at the point of time as a man of the Lord, or as a just man, right? There's some infirmities, there's some ailment within this life. Basically, it takes a lot away from us, right? And it takes basically that glow, that steadfastness as a man of the Lord. Life beats us down. So oftentimes, being in this flesh, men might look at you like, you're not a man of the Lord, or they mightn't have that, what to you, for lack of a better word, that respect, right? Hence, to aid or to give brotherly love, it's held back. The scripture says, let me get a precept, man. Yo. Trying to do some multitask. Yeah, right. And this is basically to back up the point what I was saying. This is Matthew 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, right? It says the love of many shall wax cold, right? And because of iniquity shall abound, right? So when you really think about it, man, in this time with a lot that is going on, trust issues, brothers going through their own difficulty, you understand? This may withdraw or hold back brotherly love. And we don't want to be confused that hey, brotherly love is basically about giving gifts. Brotherly love could be a simple contact, checking in on a brother. You understand? Spiritual hydration. Hey, even this video itself is brotherly love, because we do these videos to basically connect with brothers abroad, You know, when that's not in present, but in this present in spirit, you know, we keep in contact. We do these videos to the best of our to the best of our ability. All right. So brotherly love is a beautiful thing, and to see it as a burden, you know, basically it's a dangerous spot to be in mentally. You know, because what you're gonna find is that the spirit of what to say, a grievous spirit will come upon you, that you might think that, hey, I is for myself and self alone. Right? In the prophecy of 2 Ezra chapter 6, it said, "Oh, for the lack of bread, men shall invade homes." So if you with that mentality right now, you know that, hey, I ain't gonna give my time, you know, when I myself need some time, right? Or I in a spirit position of difficulty, I cannot afford to aid a brother in no way. And oftentimes, you know, that's be the thing. People would think that, hey, brotherly love is something of it's vanity, it's to give, right? And with that, I would want to encourage, you know, each brother to, you know, search deep within yourself, right? Do you love the church of Yahweh? Ba'ashem Yoshai, hey, the scripture even say you can't love Yahweh. Don't get me wrong, you can't love, you know, Israel more than Yahweh power. All right, because the position of difficulty that we does be in at times, you know, one might think to say that, hey, one might think to say is that he's doing a lot, or thinking that it's because of somebody, this person is in good case, you know. But most of the time, you gotta remember that even you as a vessel, Yahweh power use us to the best of our ability that we could give aid. So like there's not much precept that you know, I'm pulling, but however, yeah, there's not much precept because, you know, I'm in some traffic heading to work, you know. But however, so like, yeah, but however, like, this is thoughts that was, you know, pondering on my mind, you know. Hey, they're basically doing the road on the East Bank in Guyana, right? And the traffic is ridiculous. You know, to get by, you would be stuck in this traffic for hours. To get by, basically, you know, there's a lot of off-road driving or undertaking, you know, to get by on this road. And it's sore. It's a sore traffic. But yeah, nevertheless, you know, with that, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakodash. You know, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers who's pushing this truth in the four corners of the earth. And again, Ka Halala, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakodash. You know, Shalom. Till the next video.